keeping you connected in Northeast Wisconsin. You are watching NBC 26 News at 10.
Another round of snow. A live look outside right now. It is our Green Bay Tower cam. The latest on how much has fallen snow so far and how much more is on the way. And as we work to clear away the snow, what doctors say about trying to stay safe, especially as it relates to one's heart. And hard work pays off. After a breakout performance from A.J. Dillon, we check in with the Packers running backs trainer to see how the rookie's off-season workouts paved the way for his big day. Good evening to you. Thank you for watching NBC 26. I'm John Erickson. Nina has the evening off. First here, we do have a weather alert. Northeast Wisconsin seeing more snow falling tonight. Here's meteorologist Gino Recchia. Gino?
John, we've got a winter weather advisory across all of the NBC 26 viewing area until the morning hours tomorrow. There are some changes, though, since we were talking earlier in the evening. We'll show the radar right now. We have a heavy band of snow right along the I-41 corridor and eastward. However, if we zoom out, you're seeing some dry air. The snowfall, it's really decreased just to our neighboring west. What's happening is dry air getting sucked into the storm, and that's cutting down the snowfall accumulation rates. And what this will result in is a little bit more freezing drizzle and some light snow and less just full snow, which will end up causing less accumulations. But still, we have visibilities down to a mile right along and east of the I-41 corridor. But you see what the dry air is doing? Take a look at Watoma. Their visibility has improved from under a mile to now 6 miles visibility. So we're still getting the snow, but just not as much. And I'll let you know how much we're expecting as we get into my full forecast.
All right, we'll talk to you in a moment. Gino, thanks so much. As far as the latest weather conditions, you can find it on our app store or in the app store. Download the NBC 26 News app for weather alerts sent right to your phone. That is a free download. And the city of Appleton and Outagamie County crews have spent several days getting ready for Northeast Wisconsin's snow. NBC 26's Kelsey Dickinson joins us now with more on what to expect. Kelsey?
John, it's a pretty quiet night out here, but as you can probably see, the snow has been picking up a bit within the last hour and does seem to be sticking to the roads, causing some slicker conditions for drivers. However much snowfall we end up getting, city and county crews say they're ready for it.
Well, we haven't had a lot of snow so far, so we are ready. Have plenty of salt. Trucks are ready to go.
Outagamie County Highway Commissioner Dean Steingraber says the team spent the past few days checking equipment and loading trucks, expecting to have all 45 plowing units out around 2 a.m. Wednesday.
We have to react to whatever the good Lord gives us here, and we'll see what happens, but we're ready to go.
With around 5,000 tons of salt in supply, crews will work mostly along Highway 41 and Highway 441.
You know, all the planning, all the work that goes into preparation, now you go out there and actually get it done.
The Appleton Department of Public Works also spent the past few days preparing machines and staff for the day with a fully stocked salt supply.
We've really been thinking about this probably since the middle of summer.
As the snow starts, Operation Foreman Lance Wilkinson says a maintain crew will be out on city roads.
That's just maintaining hills, bridges, our main streets, our collectors, and just making sure like the main roadways are open and safe for travel.
Wilkinson estimates the city's full-scale snow plan will start between 2 and 5 Wednesday morning. How long they'll be out is up in the air.
I like to typically say about an 8-hour event, but if the snow is challenging us, it could take longer.
Officials advise people avoid the roads right now, but if you do have to go out, they say take it slow and add an extra 15 to 20 minutes to your commute. Live in Northeast Wisconsin, Kelsey Dickinson, NBC 26.
All right, Kelsey, thanks so much for the update. And local doctors do say as far as individuals clearing snow away from sidewalks or driveways, shoveling and working to remove the snow can lead to serious injury if one isn't careful, especially as far as one's heart.
Certainly with the last snowstorm, it far outweighed the number of people we were seeing with coronavirus. So it's a really important public health measure to talk about safety in the snow as well.
Local doctors also say one of the most common accidents they see in the ER every year involves hand injuries. in connection with snowblowers, they do want people to know they can still receive treatment for winter injuries amid the pandemic. Now talking about seasonal affective disorder, seasonal depression, a mental health expert said if people are feeling down, one can reach out to loved ones for a video call or phone call. An expert also said planning out the day with exercise, 3 meals, and scheduled time to go to bed and wake up can help.
It also helps with a sense of purpose and direction. You don't get a feeling of sense of loss or hopelessness.
He also said that helping others, whether that's snowblowing for a neighbor or donating to a charity, can also give people a sense of purpose. Green Bay police say they're searching for the owner of a dog that appears to be showing signs of rabies. The dog. Police also looking to identify anyone who might have been exposed to the dog. Police said a red and white adult male pit bull terrier mix was captured and is currently being tested. Again, police believe that this dog might be showing signs of rabies. If you know who the owner is of this dog or you've had any contact with this animal, please get in touch with Green Bay Police. Now a look back at 2020. Here's Raphael Seth with a look back at the positive side of a difficult year.
This is the new normal. Wacky acts of freedom were repurposed in 2020 or done alone. This first year of the new decade had everyone uneasy.
Oh no, I ain't messing with you.
We had to learn how to enjoy old things in new ways. And being stuck at home was not always a comfort.
You can't be destroying my life.
Though it was safer for us to remain inside, the human spirit came uncaged and fought our maladies with creativity, love, and in the case of one Norwegian man, 50 hours of nonstop Elvis karaoke. Toilet paper became a pop culture icon, missing from store shelves, but venerated in the form of tchotchkes, cake, and fine art. Months of isolation had some people literally climbing the walls like Olympian Brooke Robitou. At one point, coronavirus concerns shut down every major sport, but it didn't stop the games. Yeah! Tennis champ Novak Djokovic kept his reflexes cooking with some frying pans and couch cushions. French player Gaël Monfils didn't seem to notice. Pittsburgh Penguin Patrick Marleau had to break a family rule. And pro basketball player Enes Kanter kept his calorie count up with marshmallows and a treadmill. People pursued personal bests in their own backyards or online in the case of professional swim commentator Dan Hicks.
On her way to Olympic gold and gets it done at the wall at the last second.
Anyone in your quarantine circle could play.
Would knock out my brother's teeth.
Some teammates had ulterior motives.
Did it come out? Yeah, it did!
Those who were alone in their bubble could play against the house, like this Swiss skier. And that's where we are. Reinventing normal and creating new traditions. It's uncertain what the next year will bring, but if 2020 has taught us anything, it's what we can bring to the next year. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
And coming up next year for us, how performers are adapting. But first, another live look outside here for us as the snow falls. This is our Green Bay Tower Cam looking out over a local neighborhood. Gino's full forecast coming up right after the break. Stay with us here.
And now your weather with meteorologist Gino Recchia.
1.2 inches officially at the National Weather Service office in Green Bay. We have 1.1 in Oshkosh. In Nicosia, 1.4 inches and close to 2 inches in Toma. Snowfall has been heavy when it first got here, but you're starting to see some breaks in the snow coverage, especially west of the I-41 corridor, and this is slowly pivoting eastward, so that heavy snow is starting to move closer towards Lake Michigan. There's still a little bit of lake influence, so lakeside areas I don't think will be as impacted as farther inland, but drier, intruding right in between two areas of low pressure. We have an upper level low over Minnesota and a stronger area of low pressure down to the south, and We're kind of in between both systems with this dry air moving right in between, and that's going to cut down a little bit of the snowfall totals. But still, we're getting a little bit of snow. It's not like we didn't get anything. More moisture down to the south, and that's going to stay that way for the remainder of the system. We've got winter storm warnings over southern Wisconsin, where there's been some reports upwards of 7 inches of snowfall, and that's just going to continue to tally up this evening. Winter weather advisories all across the rest of the state, and it's not just snow, but also a little bit of freezing drizzle that will be impacting. That dry air, what it's going to do is cut down on the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, but there still will be some moisture, but not pretty much to set up for actual snowfall. It's going to be a little drizzle, like freezing rain coming down. So I'd suggest don't shovel your snow this evening. Wait until tomorrow, once all the moisture's out of here, because the freezing drizzle will fall on the snow, and then you can shovel it, and you'll have nice, clean pavement underneath. Snow continues mixing in with freezing drizzle as we head into the overnight, and that will start to break things down with more dry air filling in here. By about 3:30, the majority of the accumulation will be out of our area. Maybe a few flurries or patchy freezy drizzle as you get to about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, but by mid-morning hours, we're all done with it. So I've updated the snowfall tally. Most of our areas will likely pick up about 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. Right along in southern parts of Fond du Lac County, near Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and near just the tips of Kewaunee County, could have a little bit higher totals with that lake influence and that heavy snowfall lasting for a little bit longer. But also, it's breezy. We are seeing a little bit of blowing and drifting snow overnight tonight. The winds will then turn out of the west tomorrow, and that's going to bring in temperatures cooling off. Highs tomorrow will be in the lower 30s in the morning, and then we start to drop those temperatures down into the mid and lower 20s as we head on into the rest of the evening. Now, Thursday will be a quiet day. Looks like some sunshine on New Year's Eve, and then on Friday we've got another area low pressure. This one will be tracking straight up to the north, and it does appear a couple inches of snowfall is right now looking pretty likely, because not much change has been in the forecast with that storm. That will be Friday into overnight Friday on New Year's Day. Temperatures are in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees right now, a little bit cooler up towards the Northwoods in the upper teens. Winds are breezy, especially along the shoreline. We've been seeing gusts upwards about 30 miles per hour, but farther inland, not as terrible. Temperatures will be remaining right around these values, near 30 degrees with southeast winds 5 to 15, gusts near 25. Tomorrow we'll get up to 31 in the morning. Winds start to turn out of the west, 10 to 20, gusts near 25, and that will cool things off. Dry on our Thursday for New Year's Eve. Another round of snowfall Friday into Friday night. And then the next couple of days after, pretty subtle weather, upper 20s, low 30s. But then on Tuesday, we start to melt a little bit of that snowpack.
All right, Gino, thanks so much. Coming up next year for us, many performers have been without a job for nearly 9 months, but one company is using live virtual performances to keep people employed. We show you next. To the rebounds now, and some performers have been out of work for many months, but now there's an immersive experience that's giving some a chance to get back to work, and it allows fans the ability to enjoy some at-home live interactive entertainment for $35. Lindsay Boach takes us inside the secret library.
With live theaters empty and theme parks laying off employees, Todd Zimmerman knew he would have to come up with something creative to keep his theater business alive through the pandemic.
We actually sat our employees down and said, listen, we want to take our performance virtual.
Todd and his wife are the founders of Auto Tease Entertainment, a performance-based company in Central Florida.
When the pandemic started, we were hit pretty hard as an industry, and live performance effectively dried up. So this was a program that we put together with some of our employees that allowed them to continue to do what they love.
And that program, The Secret Library, an interactive escape room style game that you can play with family and friends all around the world on your computer. Todd shared this video of the game to give you an inside look as to how it all plays out. The show starts with an introduction into the game by the characters.
They're going to guide you through the experience.
The performers come from a variety of backgrounds. They're musicians, improv performers, theme park characters, Shakespearean-trained actors, and they each have a certain role in the game.
There are multiple rooms in our virtual mansion that you get to explore with your friends, with your family, other participants. And in those rooms is where you're going to meet the characters. It's where some of the clues are laid out.
There are about 30 performers within the Secret Library project. That's 30 people who were working on Broadway, in theme parks, on cruise ships, who now have a place to perform.
We live for this. We live for the chance to perform, right? It's not just a paycheck. It really is something that fills our soul, and we hope that we're doing for the same for you.
And the mystery of the Secret Library, well, that's just something you'll have to find out for yourself. I'm Lindsay Boach reporting.
And still ahead here for us on NBC 26 News at 10.
Not to sound like overhyped on the guy, but really that's what I expected from him.
A.J. Dillon's big day. Why the running back's personal trainer saw Sunday's breakout performance coming. That story is next.
And now sports with Brandon Kinnock.
Packers running back A.J. Dillon is a man of many nicknames. The original, the Sauce, comes from his love of applesauce. Others, like Quadzilla, are inspired by his massive legs. And the newest, the Snowplow, was coined after his dominating day on the frozen tundra against the Titans on Sunday. On the heels of that breakout performance, I caught up with Dillon's off-season trainer.
124 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And all the way to the end zone goes A.J. Dillon.
In a 40-14 Packers rout.
This A.J. Dillon is starting to get his sea legs.
A.J. Dillon seized his opportunity Sunday night and ran with it. Literally.
I've always prided myself on, being obviously prepared and ready when my number's called.
That professional preparation began before Dillon ever entered Lambeau Field. With no OTAs or minicamp last spring, Dillon was one of several Packers players who spent the offseason working out at Synergy Sports Performance in Hobart.
To see him reach that, I was kind of like a proud parent moment, if you will, to see a family member getting to that pinnacle that they wanted to get to.
There, he trained with owner and operator Scotty Smith, a former Packers employee who says he wasn't surprised by Dillon's big day.
Really, that's what I expected from him. I knew that once he got a little bit of a time to get in there and get some plays and get some repetition under his belt, that was totally what he would be capable of doing.
Why?
The power that he can generate and the explosiveness that he has is probably like any other athlete we've had come through here. I can think of maybe one other guy from the past that we can really even compare to from a leg size standpoint, which is just remarkable.
But his training isn't all about the quads. At Synergy this summer, Dillon spent 2 days a week on his now famous lower body strength, 2 days on his upper body, and a 5th day working on on-field drills. But after a less than stellar Lambeau leap...
Can he get up? Yes, he can. All the way in.
Could a change be on the way?
It was funny. AJ actually texted me after the game and said that we might need to add a few more leg days this offseason. So I kind of chuckled and said, I think we can do that.
And I was just so excited. I think I might have jumped from too far. I don't really know. But, I'm going to get it down pat. I promise you that.
You get some fans back in there to help pull him up. He'll be just fine with a little help from his friends. The Bucs in Miami tonight for a playoff rematch with the Heat. And the Deer were out for blood. Just 2 minutes in, Brooke Lopez to the rack for 2. Bucs go up 12-0, and then it starts raining threes. Milwaukee just refusing to miss from downtown. Dante DiVincenzo had 5 triples. Drew Holiday, 6 threes. Hashtag worth the money on that trade. And Chris Middleton hit 4 trays, and he led the Bucs with 25 points. Milwaukee as a team sets a new NBA record with 29 made three-pointers of all time in the entire league. Giannis was actually the only player who didn't hit one. He only had 9 points, but even still, what a win it was. 144-97 over the defending Eastern Conference champs. The Wisconsin Herd are one of 11 G League teams opting out of the 2020-21 season. Much like the NBA last summer, the G League will play in a bubble on the Disney World campus. That season is scheduled to run from February 8th to March 9th, a shorter season with teams playing a 12 to 15 game schedule. The Herd have not yet commented on their decision to opt out. That's all for sports. We'll be right back with one more look at tonight's forecast.
Snowfall still ongoing right now, but the intensity is starting to lighten up, especially along and west of I-41. We're getting some dry air getting sucked into the storm, and that's cutting down on the heavy snow bands. And what that's going to result is lesser snowfall accumulation. We'll have a mixture of some light to moderate snow and even some freezing drizzle mixing in at times. You see that as you get to about 2 o'clock in the morning. And light snow continues with a little freezing drizzle till we get to about 6:30. By that time, we're all out of the woods for the rest of the event. About 2 to 4 inches for most of us. Could have a little bit higher totals right along the shoreline into southern Fond du Lac County. And then tomorrow, we could do a little bit of shoveling to clean up.
Indeed, Gino, thanks so much, and thank you for watching. Hope to see you right back here tomorrow night. Good night.